I we're doing that.
Okay. So we're back together again here in the middle of March. Looking forward to a nice spring. I guess everybody's clock went ahead 1 hour. So we lost an hour, supposedly. But it's a good thing because the weather's changing and we're warm weather people. So I know we're looking forward to some warmth. Um, and then in the meantime, we're doing our thing. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy, and
Free.
free. I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters
Grow.
Oh,
I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my
Misery.
misery.
because I'll be strong to turn it around. I want to go up. I'm not going
Down.
down. I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come
True.
Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art even when it was.
Sad.
I want to share whatever my gift. And when you're feeling low, I'll give you.
A lift.
Lift.
I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being
Here.
Here.
and know that you're blessed for being
Here.
and know that we're blessed for being
Here.
and know that we are
Blessed.
blessed. Yes,
Yeah.
that pledge
Yes.
is very, very necessary. And if you take time and listen to each of those verses, you'll find a little antidote to a lot of the madness that we go through every day. And I feel very, very, very special. I feel very honored to be to have that as a part of my resume because it works for me. Sometimes I might go through the day and say, you know, I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my misery, and that's hard to do because there are people always shooting at you, trying to bring you down, trying to hurt your feelings, and you know that and that happens for a number of reasons. You know, jealousy is still a really big problem, and it's a problem that a lot of people have with us as a race, and then we have our own individual folks within our own circle who are jealous, and sometimes, I mean, jealous for no reason. I mean, jealousy is a very selfish type of behavior that comes from some deep, deep insecurity. And I really hope that, well, at least I mean, those of us who we're poets and we can speak on all these issues, and we have to, because we still are dealing with folks who are the product of damaged goods. We got a lot of people who still are not well, and we need to get better. But I'm very appreciative. I just want to say, all of you all who have been hanging out on this open house for the last few months, I just want to thank you all right now because it's been very special. I've appreciated the work. I love the fact that we are able to communicate in spite of the fact that we can't be together like we like being together. We made this machinery work. We made this technology work. And I think we've been able to transcend this madness by being who we are naturally, even though it's through a technical device. But I just want to thank each one of you because it's brought me some joy that I never even imagined because I'm not a technical person. I'm one of the only people on the planet that still does not have a cell phone. And and I know people think that I'm crazy because how do you survive? It's like I'm walking around without a heart in my chest. Listen, I survived very well, and I don't worry about losing my cell phone because I ain't got one. But I just want to. All right, we're gonna get right into today. This is Women's Month. For us, you know, I'm referring to it as Black Women's Month. I mean, there are some white women who have done some fabulous things on the planet, and I want to give them credit as well. But I'm concerned about my sisters. And it breaks my heart when I hear stories of how the sisters are being abused even now. A while back, there was a story of a sister being beat down up in the Bronx. And I'm trying to say, what would cause a bunch of brothers to stomp a sister on the sidewalk? I don't care what she did or what she said. What would bring that type of evil out in a brother to hurt a sister? And I mean, they put her in the hospital. This is something that has to definitely change. We can't do that. And those brothers need to be dealt with. We really need to have a serious drop squad for a number of reasons. For those people who don't know how to treat the sisters in the hood, there needs to be some kind of response to that. Just like there needs to be a response to people that kill people like Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman should not be around. Nobody should see him. He should have been gone. Everybody knows that police officers like donuts and coffee. When they go to get their donuts and coffee that next morning, they should not be there at the counter getting donuts and coffee. And the proprietors should say, well, where's Officer McGillicuddy? Have you seen Officer McGillicuddy today? No, I haven't. And that needs to be known. When those things start happening, I believe that we're going to see a change. Like I was just telling Brother Michael Sanders, the Breonna Taylor case is haunting to me. This sister was a first responder in 2 different hospitals. She had dedicated her life to helping those who had gotten sick. And she's in her house with her boyfriend. And they busted in and they killed her. And the Attorney General, who happened to also be Black and a Republican, he found no charges to put against these guys. So they're walking around, they're living their lives. And then they give the Breonna Taylor family $12 million. And that's like, shut up money, be happy, don't complain, you're rich. That does not take the place of a body. George Floyd, they're picking the jury right now to speak. They gave him 27 million. I know you all know what that is. That's some more hush money. Like, ain't gonna be no charges. Ain't nobody getting no 2nd-degree charge or 3rd degree. And the truth is that officers should be charged with 1st-degree murder because he and George Floyd had a relationship when they're working in a club. He was a cop and Floyd was a bouncer, and the cop didn't know how to treat some of the people, and George Floyd stepped to him and said something, and they had issues then. As far as I'm concerned, this was premeditated. When he saw George Floyd come out that store, he had already decided that he was going to take his advantage and take him out. And to have his knee on his neck for 9 minutes, I'm sorry. That's just murder straight up. So we got a whole bunch of cases, but we need to, these cases, we keep on talking about them and being upset about it. We're gonna have to upgrade our way of handling this in another way. And I know the FBI probably got this on tape. They listening.
I'm public on Facebook right now.
Yeah, I don't care. The fact is that when I met my personal agent, which was assigned to me in 1968, that killed it for me. I'm in prison, and this guy, I get a visitor at the prison, and I'm saying, what kind of visitor I got today on Thursday? I don't have to know nothing about no visitor. And this guy says, I was assigned to you in 1968. I said, assigned to me? I'm a poet. What are you doing? What did I do to have an agent assigned to me? Well, what you were saying was rather subversive. Oh, really? So these folks know that they've done enough stuff to get some paybacks. And paybacks has got to be on the horizon. In the meantime, we'll use our poems like they use their guns, and we'll write some bullets and send them in that direction. And I'm very grateful to you all for being warriors. Karen, it's nice to see you again. Have you been performing? Are you singing still? Are you singing with your jazz group?
I still singing, but I haven't been performing. I'm still singing. I haven't stopped.
And do you write also?
You know, thank you. I was here February 14th, just listening in. And I kept telling myself, I'm not a poet, right? And I kept listening and I heard the different styles of listening. And then somebody asked me if I was like, no, I didn't have anything. before I got on that call, I had written one line, love is a miracle.
Mm.
And after I got off that call, because the subject was love, I finished writing that. I'm not in New York right now, so I don't have it with me. But then I went, wait a minute, like what is occurring for me out of the pandemic is that I'm coming from within rather than waiting, responding to something outside of me.
Okay.
So today, seeing the topic was women, I started with, well, I don't know. And then I went, oh, wait a minute. And I wrote something.
Oh,
So
that's
I'd like to
beautiful.
perform.
Right.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, yes.
I'm a poet and don't know it thing is happening, and for this opportunity.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The theme, I guess everybody knows because my niece is on top of it. It's about women, and it's about recognizing the worth. And it's really embarrassing to me that women never get the play they deserve. I mean, and this is like almost it seems to be a known thing that women will work their fingers to the bone. They'll work for everybody, and the Black woman in particular. When we just look back at the history of the Black woman, this is why I love Michelle so much, because Michelle Obama was the only first lady America has ever had, because she was a straight up beautiful Black woman. She wasn't trying to be a Barbie doll. She was Black, got in the backyard of the White House growing stuff. I mean, and everything she wore on her body was a fashion statement the next day. The woman was super intelligent. And when she was out of office, when her and Barack finished their term, they went to her to ask her to run for office because of her popularity. And I love her response. She looked at them like they were crazy. She knew she couldn't be in that barrel of snakes. She had seen her husband go through changes for 8 years. And now she's going to put her hat in that ring? No. I mean, there's some people who cut out for it. I honestly, truly believe Stacey Abrams is made for that. I think that she's ready. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't know how you'll feel about her, but she comes off like a strong sister who can battle with those clowns. I believe she's ready, and I'm looking forward to her making a lot of noise. The one thing we know, she turned Georgia from a red state to a blue state, and she did that basically by herself with her crew. She got a crew of sisters who's working with her. And I know that they do the grassroots thing door to door. And she upset the whole apple cart because Georgia said, no, we're not going with you, Trump. We're going with the other people. So it's a very interesting situation. Of course, Kamala Harris is a vice president. And a lot of people want to give her some points. I give her points for being a woman of color, and that's nice. But I also know her track record. She doesn't have a good track record when it comes to Black people. She put a lot of brothers in jail, and she was the sister that was the attorney general during the Oscar Grant situation. I know you'll remember Oscar Grant. They did a movie called Fruitvale, and Oscar Grant was shot in the head by a cop who said that he thought he had his taser gun, and he pulled out a real. Now, come on. I mean, anybody with half a brain knows the difference between a taser gun and a real gun. They don't even weigh the same.
Oops.
You know what I'm saying? And then when the case came before Kamala, she tapped the guy on the wrist, and I believe he's probably home eating with his kids right now. So this is not good. I'm not really enchanted by her. But Karen, we want to start out with you since you're making your maiden voyage with poetry. We would love to hear you start, baby.
But I have to say something about my sister Kamala Harris.
Go ahead, please.
Unfortunately, in this country, the police are allowed to say, and I forgot what the law is, that they were in fear of their life.
Yes.
And the minute they say that they are in fear of their life, there is a law that protects them from what looks like to us is, how could you be in fear when you have the gun and the other one has none? So no matter what the attorney looks like, man, woman, black, white, Asian, if that's what the law is, that's what some people in the country are fighting about, changing those laws. But in defense of, Kamala Harris, even at the attorney, if that's what the law is and she's going by the book, then she has to abide with that. To us who might not understand that, it would look like a slap on the wrist. But there's
Mhm.
nothing about Kamala Harris that says to me that she's not a woman of color. She's definitely a woman of color and a strong woman of color. And we come in all stripes.
Okay,
Anyway, let me begin.
so
Women are
if you claim that you are in fear of your life and you shoot somebody based on that, then you get exonerated.
That's what's been happening. That's what I understand is happening.
That's great. But I understand what
It
you're saying
doesn't look-
because we had
it doesn't- it look- to you and I, it doesn't look like fear.
yeah,
To you and I, you could say, well, he has no gun, so what are you afraid of?
yeah.
You know,
You know
but
what?
they would.
It's not fair, y'all. Let's call a spade a spade. The same way we do.
No, it's not my opinion about what it is, but it's not, brothers, I don't want to argue with you. It's not my opinion what it is. And I'm not saying that I agree with what it is. I'm just saying that inside of my understanding,
That's the law.
there's something inside with the police that's known that this is how they say they were in fear for their life. And then that's the wrap.
The sister
you're
is
right.
150% correct. You didn't need
That's
my
the buzzword.
affirmation, but you are 150% correct, sister.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about being a woman. We always need affirmation from a man. I mean, anyway, let me go on. That's not part of my poem, but some of it is.
No, but
I should put it
thank
in.
you for that.
Thank
That's
you.
important. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Right. As women, we need to stand for other women. Women are sexual. Women are strong. Women are curvy. Women are long. Women are short. Women are proud. Women are sensitive. Women are loud. Women are peaceful. Women are private.
On that
Women
side, it's straight drop.
Mute your phone. Sorry.
Women are peaceful. Women are private. Women are personal. Women are silent. Women are quiet. Women are put down. Women are placed down. Women are getting down. Women are moving the town, the state, the country. Women are never late. Women are always on time, right on the dime. Women.
Yes. And everything you said, now it was like a poetic list of all the attributes of women. And you were right on it, honey. And
Thank
in
you.
your next poem, I'm just give you a bit of assistance. When you're writing
Okay.
and when you write something, the next time, always think about your five senses. You got five senses: your sense of taste, touch, smell, sight, hearing, and you want to attract my attention by relating to one of my senses. Give me something that I can smell. Give me something I can taste. Give me something I can hear, something I can feel, something that I can smell. I mean, when you deal with the five senses and you try to create some kind of spark for my imagination, that's the best way to do it. Now, you gave us all of the attributes of women, no question. No one can argue with anything you said. But when you talk about women aloud, I want to hear that loud. I mean, loud, it has a certain, it does create an imagination, but give me the loud. Give me an expression that would be loud. Give me an expression that will be on time. Give me something that will take me beyond the word, but the experience. What the poet does, and this is just for your own personal information, we reach beyond the word to give ourselves the experience of what the word can do. And when you're writing poetry, you have just a short moment to try to touch my imagination. The imagination is the strongest part of your brain. There is nothing stronger in your head. You can sit and imagine the world's coming to an end and kill yourself. The imagination is amazing. And when the poet speaks, that's who the poet is speaking to, your imagination. I love your first poem. It's a classic. You keep that in a safe place as a beginning of your world of writing. Because Karen, you are a deep sister. I know that. I've seen you perform. I know how bad you are. And you may not have picked up the pen before now, but you have a lot to say. I'm looking at you on the screen and I can see the depth of your soul. And I'm very proud of you because you are here. You put yourself in this particular group. And I want to thank you for sharing with us on your maiden voyage.
Thank you.
Okay?
I
Let's
have to
keep
get
it
a book.
moving.
Yes.
Give her
I
some
will.
love, y'all.
Thank you.
Give her a
Thank
hand
you.
or something. Show some love.
Everybody muted.
Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and clap.
Welcome.
Can I actually say, sister,
Hey, friend.
Sure.
my comment in support of you, yeah, you don't need none of my affirmation or any man's affirmation, or you know what I mean, like none of that. What I was trying to do was in the spirit of support, and sometimes for sisters too, just as brothers who want to support, sometimes y'all could even tell us like what's the correct way to support, because I don't even want like my support to be like oh yeah, like you needed my cosign or nothing. What I was just trying to say was, yo, I hear what the sister's saying, and yeah, I'm with that. And so, you know, even in that, as y'all move forward and how you shape whatever y'all are doing, please set up parameters for how us brothers who's trying to do it correctly know how to even interact or affirm whatever you want. You know what I mean?
So I want to say to you, I appreciate what you said. You did it correctly. You did
Right.
it correctly. You
That-
stepped
that's-
right in, you saw what was needed, when it was needed, and you stepped right in, and thank you. So my remark that we always need affirmation is not about, it's not to put you down, it's to appreciate the affirmation that was there. Thank you.
See, this is what we gotta have. This is what it's all about. I want to thank both of y'all because that's how we supposed to move. That's how we supposed to be moving. Thank you. Hello.
You welcome.
Let's wake up, folks. Wake up. Jamal,
Was
you got
right.
the floor, baby. Let's hear you.
So you ready to hear my poem?
I'm ready to hear your poem.
Okay. I just wrote this a minute ago
All right.
for a special Black woman who has inspired me.
Of course. Which means that you wrote this about 1,000,000 years ago.
No, literally. What time did we start? 5 o'clock. I wrote this at maybe like, I started maybe thinking about it like 4 o'clock, and then like 4:30, between 4:30 and 5.
Okay.
Right? This is fresh.
Fresh.
She thinks she all that.
Ah.
Not for nothing. Her bottom lip moves like the bouncy ball following bluesy jazz notes.
Ooh.
She carries the weight of the world on her shoulders, but redistributed it and fucked up her ankles and feet. What a feat. She almost make me sick because she don't know how fine she is, how blind she is, how kind she is to not look down on others, exert her crown on others. And no wonder that folks want her to spread her buttery brown on brothers.
Woo.
She like the archetype, not the stereotype, not the video hype, not a fruit to be pricked when you think it is ripe, not whatever they do, right, left, swipe. Nah, she be worth more than gold, worth more than she know, worth more than we show. She be the bearer of children, the uplifter of icons, the real glue. No gorilla needed to put the skies on, the one we need to keep our eyes on, because the Black woman always gonna be the hill I'm willing to die on, and the horizon I plan to rise on.
Jamal. Yeah, baby.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Oh, snap. That was the perfect rebuttal. I mean,
Now somebody in here know who I wrote that for. Somebody in here.
Snap.
I love it.
Oh my God.
Hey, come on, Doc. I don't know how the mic. Come on, somebody talk about that.
Mm.
Jamal, you know how I love your stuff. I want somebody else to talk about it. I can't. I don't want to. Come on now.
Hey, the one I wrote about better say something.
I'm impressed.
No, that was
Just say,
You better speak.
I mean, Shelly, was that you, Shelly?
Was it for me?
Shelly.
Shelly.
Don't y'all start no messing here today.
Did the man undress you in public?
Yes, goddess. Yes.
for
some odd reason, I was thinking about her too.
We just
you was
Yes.
thinking
tap
about
the side
who?
of my rap a minute.
Hey, look, don't play with me because I'll do one for each one of y'all. But that was not that one was not Shelly.
Trying.
See, now that wasn't for me.
What did you say? That was not Shelly?
He said it wasn't for me. That's all right. I'm still gonna tap the side of my
I know
rap.
that's right. I know that's right.
It was for every black woman at the end of the day, but it was for a specific black woman today.
Oh, shucks now.
Oh.
I'm gonna appreciate it. I'm gonna appreciate it.
Damn, this
Okay.
my sister. Hey,
Jamal.
Anita?
Jamal.
Oh my God.
All right. All right.
I'm driving.
Hey, Juanita.
Uh,
That's how we do in Boston. Just to let you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
Uh-oh.
That's what I'm talking about. Not for nothing. Not for nothing, Jamal. That was dope.
And
hey.
look,
Dope.
one line in there
Nothing.
that I want y'all to, I really want y'all to pay attention to. The one line in there where I said, the uplifter of icons, right? Because this whole thing, the real reason that we all here is because this woman has shown so much love
out the
and
back.
brought
Yes, she
everybody
has.
together under
Yes, she
Abiodun,
has.
the
So
uplifter
true.
of icons, okay?
Ooh.
The real
Yes,
glue.
sir.
No
Okay.
gorilla needed to put the disguise on. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Come on,
it
wordplay.
be,
Okay.
no, it be things
Hey,
in there.
Jamal, you know what?
Alright.
You know, my mother said every family should have a Juanita because that's what she does. She is a family organizer. When my sister had her birthday party down in Georgia, Juanita found a house. Forget staying in a hotel, motel.
I know that's right.
We all stayed in a house together because this girl researched. I didn't even know you could do stuff like that. She said,
Oh.
we ain't staying in no motel, hotel. We're going to stay in a house. My sons were sleeping across the room from me. I had my own room. I mean, the kids are up and down the stairs watching TV.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
crazy. But you're right. I mean, and then we had a gig. The last boys had a gig in Germany. The guy that hooked up the gig in Hamburg, he wanted to leave Germany, come over here and marry Juanita because she talked to him on the phone and he thought she was a goddess and every single thing that we wanted to have in that green room was there because Juanita set it up. No, she's a shaker and a mover.
You're gonna have me slapping Nazi niggas in Hamburg now. What are we doing?
The international. Okay.
That's special. That's
That
special.
cue ball sprinkle
Thank
do
you so
that
much.
to you. That's what that do.
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. We got so many people today. I want to hear everybody. And
Beautiful.
and that is special. Thank you, Jamal. Always.
Yes.
Who we want? VCR.
Dang. Okay. Let me just say happy Black Sistery Month. And
I like that. Black Sisters Month.
sistery, yes. And of course that's 1/12 of Black Art Story Year. And the piece I was gonna do, I've done this last year, so I want to do something different. It was dedicated to the sisters, but this one I'm gonna do is I remember seeing your piece, Abiodun, regarding Queen Mother Cicely Tyson, and I was gonna write. I was I was planning on writing that. When I saw your piece, it was pretty much inspired me, and
Okay.
I felt kind of like, man, should I really write this piece now? But I've done it anyways, and it's entitled 96 Years of Sheer Elegance.
Okay.
A princess born in 24, close to Harlem winter, the warmth of an upcoming star with a boatload of Afrocentricity. Short-length tiara so regal, she, Claudia Ferguson, the apple of Adam's eye, Sammy Davis's right eye. She, Rebecca Morgan, holding down the fort with fam while Nathan Lee's imprisoned. She, Miss Jane Pittman, chronicles of her life at 110. She, Maddie Williams of the River Niger, fighting cancer as poet husband struggles. She, Binta, with tears screaming for Kunta Kinte. She, Coretta, that queen loud and proud with her king. She, Moses, Black Moses, shotgun like bullhorn demanding, let my people go. She, Marva Collins, rebellious against the school system. She, Vivian Perry, another teacher busting loose with Joe Braxton and educating 8 special need kids. She, Mrs. Brown of Brewster Place, setting daughter Kiswana straight that black is just black. She, Stephanie St. Clair, Madam Queen of 400 Edgecombe Ave, Duck Schultz's worst nightmare. She, Mama Flora, matriarch through trials and tribulations. She, Myrtle, the diary of Helen and the ancestor of Medea's reunion. She, Ola, one half of an elderly couple sharing wisdom of love on Sandy Beach. She, that strong trumpet sound traveling melodies for miles and miles. Like a trip to Bountiful. She, godmother to Kravis, to Tyler's Amon, and Denzel's Katia. She, award winner, yet shines brighter than Emmys, and Oscars, and Tonys, and Golden Globes, and NAACP images. She, African goddess, with Nevis blood flowing through her veins, whispering from her memoirs, I've done my best, that's all. She, Cicely. She, Tyson. There can only be one in this universe, just as she is.
Woo! Yes, brother. I wrote a piece, but you wrote a monster.
Man.
Yes, brother. Yes. I will step aside. That is a beast. And the thing about it is that I don't know if you know this, but I knew Cicely. I lived with her daughter. And her daughter's name is Marlena Franklin. I know some people that are probably watching this will probably be very upset because I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna expose it. In the book, she has a book out about her life, and she refers to her daughter as Joan. Her daughter's name was not Joan. Her daughter's name was Marlena Franklin. She had her daughter at 17 and put her daughter in a Catholic convent. I did not like Cicely because of that. Her daughter. I wanted to marry her daughter. Her daughter said to me that she was never getting married and she was never having kids. And she told me to marry the woman who had my son. My son is on this thing right now. His name is Pharaoh. And his mother had him, and I had denied him being my son until I saw him. I said, oh, Lord, I can't deny him now. It's obvious. But the fact is that she said, you better marry that woman that had your child. And I did. I followed her instruction. But Marlena was beautiful. And when I first met her, I was so enchanted by her. And I asked her who she was. And she says, well, people say I look like my mother. And when I looked at her, I saw Cicely Tyson, and I could not believe it. Cicely Tyson never acknowledged her daughter, but they were close and very close. Matter of fact, Marlena was devoted to her mother. I even had a chance to meet Cicely Tyson's mother, who lived on Boynton Avenue in the Bronx. That piece that you wrote chronicles her career. And one thing I can say, even though I didn't appreciate the way she dealt with Marlena, she never, ever, ever shamed us on the screen. She always showed us pride. She always showed us strength. She was a true soldier and a true warrior for us in that Hollywood world. unfortunately, a lot of folks don't realize her mother did not endorse her going to Hollywood, and they stopped talking because of it. It was a problem. They stopped communication because she knew once she went to Hollywood, it was going to be a problem because she didn't think that that place was suitable. They're from the islands and they had their value system, and her mother was upholding that. But that piece gives you a real, true essence of Cicely Tyson. And I said this recently. You're not judged by how you look or how you smile or the things you do with your life right now. You're judged by your work, and your work will last forever. The work that she did will make her immortal, and we love her for what she did, and we will always love her for what she did because she never did us in a way that we could not be proud. So thank you, brother. That piece that you did, it eclipses mine by a great deal because you touched on all of the pieces that she was involved with. I hit on a few. You went in, and I'm glad that you did not relinquish because you heard what I did. You went in and you did a fabulous job, brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Baba. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. Give him some love, y'all.
Nice.
Yes, indeed.
Let's move on.
Yes.
I want to hear
Yeah.
from my sister right now. All right. We got Labria here. I know you got, now, you know, all of us must have a woman that we know, that we love and care about. I want to hear from Labria. Let me hear from you. How
Hi.
you doing, baby?
Peace. I'm doing good. I feel good today. How are you?
So far, so good. And you look good. You look like you're okay. You have a good week.
Yeah.
Good. What are you doing with your days, your quarantine days? Are you working? Are you going to school? What?
I actually quit my job because they are some unappreciative somebodies, and I want to be here I want to be with my babies while they're doing school remotely. So my
Throw
parents.
off the white man joke, sister.
Thank you.
What? Now you say you want to be with your baby. Who's your baby?
My children.
How many do you have, baby?
3.
You got 3?
Yes, sir.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I got a 12-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
You got a 12-year-old?
Yes.
You look like you're 16. What are you talking about?
I'm 32.
Whoa.
She
Honey bun God has been
look
good to you.
younger than 32.
You don't look no 32. You don't look nowhere near 32.
I met him.
I thought she was 20, 22, 21, 22.
I was still
I thought she
giving
was
you
one of my
20s
daughter's
too.
friends.
Yeah.
23
You know they
is what I
say
would have
black
said.
don't
Right.
crack. Well, Labria, go ahead and share with us your piece.
Okay. I called this Eternals, the Eternals. Bearer of sunlight, my mother's daughter, her sorrow and power. Blue under moonlight, obsidian tower. We, ancestral expression, honey walnut blackberry molasses complexion. Create birth space of civilization. Black woman. Our teat, used to feed the nation, assume defeat, a nation that raped us, snatches our children, destroys our men, leaving us no trace of who we is, but we are dandelions. Uprooted time and again, face humiliation at the hands of pale kind of men, frustrated at our resilience. Cut down, picked, tormented. Beauty and strength, effortless elegance. And I get it. It must be irritating being a white woman, having to buy what is naturally mine, imitation the highest form of the asinine. They can't imitate this queen's mind. Blessed Mother Earth named me Butterfly, spirit cosign. Juanita, my spirit guide, my biggest cheerleader, a leader. Lest we forget Yex, she confessed her empress unapologetically, showed me I could be confident with an audience, bringing more clarity, helping me see I have been stifling me. I have been stifled via readings of being meek, via dealing with their corruption, aims to fill us up with remorse when we stand up to speak, jealous because they have peaked. Galactic intricacies poured into the Neteru's makeshift batter to create shifts and imprint upon this plane. And if that's the case, then your grace, you matter. They couldn't marvel any harder if we were Marvel superheroes. So find comfort in being you, immortals. Find comfort in being the universe's eternals.
Baby, baby. Yes, yes.
Oh,
You know,
Oh my
sometimes
God.
Dedication.
I'm dying.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
You know, sometimes
Sis.
we write, we don't always know that we're hitting the nail on the head. Labria, you hit the nail on the head, honey. I felt that. I think everybody that heard it felt it.
Thank
Yeah.
I mean, somebody else speak on it. I can't always speak on it.
Go
Please.
back to the
You
line.
know,
What was the line you hit with the blackberry molasses? Or like, go back to that.
ancestral expression, honey walnut, blackberry molasses complexion.
Woo, blackberry
Yes.
black.
Beautiful.
Mm.
That
That was that was a line that I liked a lot. And then there was another one later, and I was like, okay, that's my favorite. So as you kept going, it was like, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah. But then the favorite was the last one.
Yeah.
Just the
I
last
caught the
one.
more clarity line. I was like, that's dope.
I caught that. I caught that. I was like, oh, snap.
Juanita, yeah, that was fly.
Thank
beautiful.
you.
How
That
long
was
ago?
beautiful.
How long ago did you write
Fun.
that?
Huh?
How long ago did you write that?
I finished it on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Mm.
So you wrote it. You started Tuesday and you let it marinate a little bit, and then went back to it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's a good method, because you know I used to write and think that I had to finish everything I was writing right then, but I've learned since that I can let stuff marinate a little bit
Yes.
and go back to it. And we have to be patient with ourselves sometimes. You don't have to always get it done right away. Take time, let it settle. Yes.
Sometimes you know what they say, man. Poems are never finished; they're only abandoned. And
Yes. You're right, Earl. You're absolutely right.
And now for nothing, what I learned is, in the words of the great philosophers, sometimes it rhymes slow, sometimes it rhymes fast. Sometimes it rhymes slow.
You go 125 with Saint Nick now.
But I just like to say, I would just like to say about Butterfly, because I see her as a butterfly.
Oh yeah.
I just see she's just blooming, and her poetry is blooming, her words, and it's just amazing to see. It's an honor to see it. A younger queen, you know, blossoming, you
And
know, and that's what
That's beautiful. That's
I love
excellent
you. You
work,
know I
baby.
love you. You know I love you. And I'm so proud of her, really.
I will be so happy when this pandemic is kind of died down to the point we get together, have a barbecue, and see each other. Lord have mercy, God.
Yes.
That's gonna be a revolution unto itself. I'm
Yes,
serious.
indeed.
I bring the trees.
Yes, I really will.
Okay,
And
Labria.
I'm gonna be right there under the
Okay,
tree
Labria,
shade.
Oh.
Oh
Labria,
man. What?
Labria, you were saying you stayed home with your babies, your 3 babies, and so I don't think you got to finish what you were saying. You left your job, stay home with your 3 babies, and something about you and your parents, something.
Oh, they're
What were
helping out right now because it don't feel right going to work with them in school and needing to succeed. It doesn't feel right. And so I talked to my parents, and I'm grateful I have both my parents to be able to.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
amazing how we
blessing.
got
Don't
to
feel guilty about raising your children. Don't feel guilty about that. That's the most important thing. That's the most important job you can ever have,
First
is
job,
raise your
right.
children.
Right.
So don't feel guilty
Feel
about
guilty if you
that.
didn't.
That's right. That's
And
right.
someone in them virtual classrooms, that he's absolutely right, because I see it from the other side. So that is absolutely right. Do not feel guilty about that.
Not at all.
Thank you.
I wish more were. I'm gonna leave it like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Labria. Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Larry,
Beautiful.
what's up, Larry? Turn your mic on so we can hear you.
Thank you. This is my first time being here, so
Greetings,
Where
Larry.
you from? Where you coming from?
I'm originally from Philadelphia, but I live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania now,
Lancaster.
outside of Philadelphia near Harrisburg.
That's what I think. I know my brothers go there. They got a situation where you get a lot of the nice cars there very easily, right?
Oh yeah. You can get your car on. But yeah, I'm honored because I was Marty. I had a friend named Marty Rouse. He introduced me to, he sent me a link, and I think I was on Sunday, but then I got in contact with your niece Juanita, and so she was telling me about this. So that's why I was here, and to give honor. I've been writing for over 40 years, so
Oh, okay.
so but just to be around distinguished artists and poets as yourself, I'm always open-minded to the cause. So I hope that I can do honor to the Black women that's been strong, that stuck by me when I was out there, because being a Black man and losing my way, it was through their prayers and through their sacrifice that they didn't give up on me.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I have a dedication piece called Women.
Okay.
I am proud of the beautiful Black women that graced my life with their beauty and presence. Each moment was a learning experience and a blessing. Each one ingrained in me lessons of instruction and awareness of self. Their love was the backbone of my validation of my manhood. The principles of family and its values propel me to become the best variation of me that God intended me to be. Through their prayers and selfish sacrifice, I continued their dream. Living has a positive example of perseverance, strength against all odds that they face. I am grateful to all they provided me and continue to in honor of their friendship and support that cannot ever be replaced. Thank you to all the Black women for you, the thread that holds it all together and makes a house into a loving, caring, and positive structure of a home. Without your tenacity, grace, and dignity, a nation wouldn't be built. For you're the mother of all humanity. You're the one and only woman. Thank you.
Yes. A short but very impacting, brother. And I think each one of us can feel what you said, because it was a real deal, no question. And I love how you just recognize their worth, because the woman, just like they did for you, they've done for all of us.
Yes.
No man here can disclaim that. I don't think any of us could say that we have not been upheld by the sisters. You cannot be on planet Earth and have any kind of semblance of life without a woman being there to give you support.
Yes.
And sometimes that support can be eroded by situations, but the reality is that there's always another woman to come along to make up for what went wrong.
Yes.
So thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow.
That was a nice round, Pops.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving, because we got Ngoma in the house, and brother Ngoma is you talking about? See, this brother understands. Not only does he understand music and poetry, but he understands women as well. I don't think you can understand music and poetry without understanding women, because that becomes the essence of poetry. If you're a poet, women have got to be the center of your theme, because I think that women have a lot to do with the poetic voice that exists in all of us. That, like we all have 46 chromosomes, and men have 23 X chromosomes, which is that female chromosome. And I think that chromosome that's the woman in us. Now, it doesn't mean you go to Victoria's Secret to buy your clothes. It means that you have compassion and sensitivity and understanding. And when you can put that together with your manhood, then you will be a man. When you deny that, it'll make you very perverted and awkward. When you try to become that, you become a mockery of women. I'm sorry. And there may be people listening that don't like what I'm saying, but you don't imitate a woman to tell me that you're celebrating a woman. When you imitate a woman, you're mocking her. A woman is serious. A woman is important. She's valuable to the entire world. And there's some of us that understand that. Brother Ngoma is a wise brother. He's not just a poet, but he's a man of wisdom who knows how to operate in a life situation. And I'm just happy that he's my friend, he's my brother, and I always appreciate him. And he's married to a sister I love very much, named Oshun, and you can't get more serious than that. Ngoma, good to see you,
How
baby.
you doing?
I'm good, man. How's Oshun?
She's coming along.
Good.
She'll be on in a few minutes. She's fooling around with her tablet and she's gonna come on.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I was like looking over some old poems.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I wrote this.
That's what happens after we've been writing a long time.
So I thought I'd share it with you.
Yes.
Oh, let me tell you the real story. The name of the poem is On the Day the Pope Died.
Oh, okay.
Now, I started writing it like about 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. And I took a break around 11.
Uh-huh.
And I turned back on my TV around 2 or 3 o'clock, and he actually had died. So,
Wow.
yeah. So anyway, this is on the day the Pope died. All right. On the day the Pope died, no one knew that he'd been dead since before 9/11. No one told you. No one paid enough attention to push him over. Obviously not crusaders praying to Jesus while bombing mosques. They say he was a man of peace, admonished by St. Laurent Hill for the sins of pedophile priests. Gas prices rising like the flames of souls dying for oil, and the lies about those weapons of mass destruction yet to be found. Tsunamis rage like the tears of the planet, wounded and ravaged by raped ecology as water becomes the next commodity. It wasn't on the Disney Channel, so don't look on Fox 5 or Hot 97, where misled hip hoppers pimp Coca-Cola and labor leaders disappear from Colombia, where the peso is worth even less than the dollar. Did the evangelicals tell you in church on Sunday that Social Security has been hijacked by gangsters, the Christians that lied and stole 2 elections? So on the day the Pope died, the most impoverished people of the land, who are mostly black, beige, and brown, still genuflected to a white man, heads bowed, kneeling to the ground, giving their hard-earned cash to the richest men on earth, while the kingdom of heaven is within. So on the day the Pope died, the truly faithful cried and gave praise to Mary, the Black Madonna, otherwise known as Isis, marched in the street bearing death symbols, turned their backs to the Vatican for not excommunicating Hitler, opened their closets and burned sage to exorcise demons, set fire to fascists disguised as Republicans, fanned the coals while channeling Phoenix. On the day the Pope died, El Salvadoran martyrs were still not vindicated. Archbishop Romero turned in his grave as the death of Sister Dorothy Stang of Brazil is being investigated, and the conspiracy of murder continues against peasants protecting the rainforest. Angels of justice guard brave priests like Reverend Leclerc and Sandoval as they preach the theology of liberation on a land that is evil and hostile. So on the day the Pope died, It seems as if no one had been listening, as millions of oppressed nationalities left the earth for man-made diseases, while coat hangers returned for those seeking abortions. Still, Mumia Abu Jamal sits on death row, and our children suffer death from McDonald's, trying to pay back student loans with salaries from Starbucks, dreaming of making a living on Def Jam, combing the country doing open mics and poetry slams, still realizing the dreams turned to a nightmare as Def Jam poets line up for welfare. So on the day the Pope died, we pray for a new regime that truly reflects the culture of life, where the strong will truly protect the weak, as bells ring in the Vatican, sending vibrations throughout the planet for the true liberation of the human spirit. That was April 2nd, 2005. Yeah.
On the day the Pope died. Yes, brother. Thank you. That's an important piece. And yes.
Wow.
And you know what? That's one of the most pedophile organizations you got. The Catholics, man, they've done a number on kids.
Yeah.
You don't want to have your child grow up to be no altar boy. Woo. I mean, it may ruin his life for life.
Man, they call it look, I was sold when they called it the rectory. I knew something was wrong.
Ain't that Earl?
Pause.
Hey, that's the truth. You got to check out the language.
Hey, but
Yes.
not for nothing, Baba. You said you started writing that poem in the morning before he even died, and by the later day, like he died. I just want to ask you, like on a DJ type of thing, like, do you take requests?
Thank you. All right, let's keep it moving. How you doing, Oshun? Turn your mic on, baby.
Can you wait?
It's good to see you. I can't hear you now. Now I can't see either. All right, we're gonna go to the next person. Shelly, that voice.
The voice. The voice.
I mean, you know what? I mean, that's a gift. And at some point in life, I don't know if you have a studio nearby, but you need to do it. Take that voice.
She won't call me. Hey, look, she won't call me.
That actually, thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate that. But I did reach out to you, sir, Jamal.
Wait, no. Last time, we're ready. We'll fly you to Atlanta, New York, where you need to go. Let's do it. Let's go. Call me after this. Go. Do your thing.
But I have done some recordings in the studio in the Bronx.
Right.
A couple of years ago, I did do some recordings, but I'm looking to do some other stuff, you know.
I mean, it's like, Sarah Vaughan did songs and she had that voice. She had that purple sound. That's why we love Sarah Vaughan so much. Even though Ella was the queen of scat, and Sarah could scat as well, but Ella didn't have that purple sound the way Sarah had. And, Sarah didn't know that she could even sing. You know what Sarah was doing before she started singing? She was a piano player in Billy Eckstine's band. And Billy Eckstine heard her sing and said, you know what? I can't use you as a piano player no more. So she thought she was being fired. And she said, well, what's the problem? She says, you got to sing, baby. Ain't no problem. And she started singing. She did not realize she had the voice that she had. Nat King Cole, he didn't know he could sing like that. He was a piano player as well. And his singer missed the gig, and Nat knew the songs, so he sung the songs. The manager of the club said, if you hire that singer that you had last time, we're gonna fire your band. You got to sing all the songs from now on. So a lot of times we don't know the gift that we have because we live with it. It's a part of who we are. And you can't always endorse yourself and say, oh, I'm bad. It takes some other ears to hear you for you to really understand yourself. My niece had everybody do a tribute to me a couple weeks ago, and I was blown away because I couldn't even believe half of that poetry that was being done was written by myself. I mean, you can't hear yourself when you're talking about what you feel. It's just coming out of you. But when somebody throws it back into your face, it blows your mind.
You a bad motherfucker, ain't you?
Man, all I know is that, Shelly, I'm enchanted, and I think everybody's enchanted by your voice. And please go ahead and share with us your piece today. And I know you got something dealing with this theme because I know Juanita probably got in touch and she let you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Juanita. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman. But yeah, I'm gonna spit this piece that I wrote. But I just like to say to those, because for me growing up, I was told that my voice sounded almost a masculine voice, and I was kind of ashamed of the deepness of my voice. But I'm so thankful for the realness that was brought to my knowledge that it's okay, you know. So
You know, some people's ears are filled with wax and they really can't hear, baby.
so this
and
piece,
it's not even okay. It's more than okay. You know what I mean? It's not even okay. It's great.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So I appreciate that. I'm very humbled by that. This piece is called Black Woman, Proverbs 31.
Okay.
Have you not ever touched the soil, the soul, the fertileness of ground, before creation crowned, in the rarest of jewels, ripples of waves crashing in celebration, its sound, the sound, profound. Glory is the true essence of the story, her story, stories of pyramids built with her in mind, that God put a limit on it, for it would have reached the heavens within her, spaces that he red velvet roped off, human access denied, heavens, but no limits on the heavens of a Black woman's mind. 7, complete, finish, the earth replenished, and it was good. From the beginning of time, misunderstood, but stood, Black woman stood like a tree planted by the rivers of water, and she's not to be moved. Opal, onyx, smooth, yet blanketed in toughness to withstand the roughness of having the winds whipping through the corridors of her heart's hollow places, but burned. She burned. Burning bush that the fire will never consume, engulfed in holy ground, placed in the cleft of a rock, unable to look directly at radiance, yet shimmering in her own radiance, embellished in brass and eyes of fire. Fresh water, effervescence, and to drink of her is to never thirst no more. A Black woman, a necessity, accessory that can't be compromised, consolation, and ain't enough money in this whole universe can pay her off. Priceless and righteous, and her silence is golden, and you can't take away from it nor add to it, for she has been perfected. And whenever killed, she has been resurrected. Mentally no longer in the tomb, for the stone has been rolled away and rebirthed from the womb and her womb. And this world, well, this world It's unable to groom nor manufacture, 'cause she ain't of it. Over spirits and principalities her throne, and she sits above it in her rightful place. Realize that she has been fashioned, image and likeness, a black woman, the illest. And in the matrix of her existence, choose wisely, red or blue, recreating herself, constantly becoming new. She's becoming seen in the waters of her reflection. And although sometimes it seemed distorted, reaching down, touching, creating ripples and making waves, and she has never been alone or never on her own. Trinity, and encapsulated by her ancestors, for she knows that her steps have been ordered, and she's performing a good work. She with the ability to bring forth the darkest of shades to light bright and damn near white. A black woman is a beacon of light. Whether she's wealthy or in a bodega swiping her EBT for a chopped cheese, she needs to know the beauty of her blackness is royalty. This Afro picked. Black woman is heaven sent, the original blueprint, and she shines. Seeking to destroy a black woman is genocide. And to disrespect her is an abomination, mother, for she is the life path to all human creation. And in every man is the embroidery fabric of a black woman. And although pains and heartache have weighed heavy tons, tattooed on her heart, the beating of a black woman. Proverbs 31. Peace.
Yes. 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 That's not
That's
a
that
poem.
fire.
That's an
That's
epic.
that fire. Woo!
That's an
That's
epic.
Shelley.
No, I cannot
That's-
even look. I can't fuck with you. Look.
That's Shelley.
You
That is
are
Queen Shelley.
you are a witchy woman, and you have some other shit going on. Yo, not for nothing, and you know, I'm on your tip. But like when people used to talk about like Jay-Z or this Nas on the hip hop thing, if you ever heard one of the Jay-Z things and all the people like talked about, yo, you're a great poet. And I hope you know that.
Yes.
Like to me, fuck all the other shit. But like you literally, your only fault is, you know, you really came at a time where like right now poetry is not sexy or whatever. But when you came, like if you would be like right at the beginning, Jessica Care Moore, Ursula Rucker, all the like the poets we know who, you know, got all that guap. You know what I mean? Like, yo, sis, your shit is fire. And I'm not just saying that like, but yo, I'm on fanboys. That shit is ridiculous.
Absolutely.
No, that was hot. There ain't no question there. Okay. And it's just her metronome, like just the cadence in which she shares it. It's melodic,
yes,
and
yes,
still powerful. You know, so yeah, there's something there. Yeah, you on the one, as musicians would say. You on the one, sis. Keep right. You on the one.
I love it. Thank you so much. Shelley, I'm not surprised because see, I see if your voice, when you have a voice like you have, it's almost like you can't neglect that sound because sound takes precedent over words. I don't think that the voice that you have will allow you to say something that's ridiculous and stupid. You're going to say something that's outrageous because your voice can only handle something that's got merit. You can't deal with something that's petty. And when you speak of women and the way you did and recognizing the worth of a woman, it's special because and then you have a gift, you got that instrument to express the specialty of your gift. And the woman, no man can deny what you said. No woman can deny what you said. It's the reality of life. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We needed to hear that. and it's important.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate
And
you.
all I want you to do is recognize when you share your work with others, and if it lifts others up, recognize it should lift you too.
Mm. Okay.
Don't
The
ever.
preacher must hear his sermon, right? The preacher must hear his own sermon. Teacher must listen to his
Exactly.
own lesson. Yeah.
Girl, how come we can't see you, Pharaoh?
Uh, hey.
I see your name. Hey, there you
Yeah.
go. What's up,
Right.
man? Are you working or something?
Now, I'm driving, but I'm about to be situated in like 5 minutes.
Okay. All right, good. Well, in the meantime, let me hear some more poets. Brother Earl is on the scene. I want to hear Brother Earl. I know we got something good for Brother Earl. Y'all don't know, Brother Earl has been an icon in Harlem for some time. Now, you know, some people have records out like, all right, I'm Abiodun, last post, and I got all kinds. Please, that stuff don't mean nothing. Brother Earl is a brother who everybody knows. He's even hooked me up with gigs in his organization because Brother Earl is in touch with the people. He's got a crew of folks who know who he is because he's always doing the work. And that's the only way you have everlasting existence. You got to get in the trenches. You got to work. And Brother Earl is a worker. He's no joke. So listen to Brother Earl, y'all. Go ahead, Brother Earl. Do your thing.
All right. Always a pleasure to be here. It's crazy. I've been stuck between two different poems this whole time, saying to myself, waiting for a sign to tell me. And one time say something, okay, I'm gonna do that one. Then someone else said something. So I'm just gonna go with one. And if there's time later on, I'll go with the other. And that's just what it is.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
All right. I see you. Yes, you I see you early in the morning. Kids yawning as you rush into school in the hood. There isn't a carpool, but you can't get to work late. I see you. And I debate whether to conversate or offer you a ride, tell you to slide inside and let me give you a moment's respite. I see you getting off the train at night, no one to greet you in sight. Fast break to daycare, then spending cab fare for you and the children everywhere. The doctor, market, salon, then pharmacist, and I wonder what type of a life is this? Because you still gotta check the homework, prepare dinner and dessert, wash dishes, soaking from the other day, bathe the kids only to play with yourself because your man is never home. I see you and you're always alone. And I'm at an impasse because I don't know whether to apologize for him or kick his ass for having no idea what he's been blessed with. God's gift to man. Cherish her or she'll slip through your fingers like sand and share a castle in the arms of another king. And if you don't think the proof's in the pudding, look around and see the women without their other half, or should I say other 1/3, 4th, or 10th. You do the math, but the path to my respect for you is blazed by the trail you forge every day. And I'm man enough to say, I couldn't walk a mile in your shoes, but I'll massage your feet and tend to every bruise that's been ignored for far too long, till your sighs of relief sound like a song and you can't tell what's wetter, my face or your thong. Don't be ashamed, there's nothing wrong giving new meaning to the term coming on strong. I'm in awe the way you keep on keeping on, like the pregnant women of Saigon tilling the rice fields. And even as they gave birth, they continued to work Only a fool wouldn't recognize your worth. You are a queen, and this was not the plan, for you are more man than he'll ever be and more woman than he should have had. So don't be sad, because I see you, hear you, feel you. But what you need to do is feel me as I feel you, with the intensive care you deserve. So the next time Mr. Unemployed works your nerve, come and see me. I'll show you love is a noun and a verb.
Earl! Earl!
Man, listen.
Earl, you cheating, man. You're cheating, Earl. You know that's not fair, Earl. That's not fair, Earl. That's not fair. Oh, you cheated, Earl. Oh my God. You see that? But that was stupid. That was stupid. Oh my God. Oh man. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill right now. That's outrageous.
I just want to know when you did the unemployed thing, like the self-employed count, or like what you
I see you.
I see you.
Thank you.
Yo. Oh man.
Yes, yes, Earl.
Yes.
You see, what I love about it is that your poetry always deals with the basics. You're not dealing with the highfalutin, the ephemeral stuff. You're dealing with what's grassroots, the very basic stuff. Coming home from work, waiting for a cab, waiting for somebody to pick you up after you get off the train. Come on now. Come on. That's real stuff. That's real talk. Yes, brother. Thank you. Earl, I didn't expect nothing else. I mean, yes. Yes. I mean, come on, please.
You said you had two of those, Earl? Shoot, I want to hear the other one now.
Look, man, well, that poem, I See You, man, was written 19 years ago, okay? And I have another poem that I'm going, that's dedicated to my mother that's about 15 years old. So I was just debating on which one to share first, because you never know how the timing is with what we do. But I was waiting for signs because I wanted to do both. And sometimes people would say different things that was telling me, either or poem. And I went with I See You, because it's dedicated to all those sisters that are really, in the struggle and not recognized, and they're beautiful and they're strong and powerful. And I just wanted to say, hey, man, I don't have a blind eye. I see you. And that's for real.
Right. Well, brother, that piece is a monster. It stands the test of time. 19 years is just a figure. That poem is forever. Trust me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. We got Michael Saunders here. And we got a few folks. We got Ingrid here. I mean, I am so proud. We got so many folks to share. Well, let's hear from Ingrid first. We're gonna mix it up a little bit. Ingrid,
hello.
How you doing, baby?
I am well. I am trembling at being among such alumni.
Where you calling from, baby?
I am in Harlem.
What part?
Right here, West Harlem. Right near Riverbank Park. Riverbank State Park.
And nobody in here is from the Illuminati, just FYI.
Just the illustrious amongst you I refer to, that's all. I kind of penned and scribbled this thing recently, and here goes. Yeah.
All right.
She cradles him, allowing the rage-tinged hurt to flow freely giving air to festering bruises from cold concrete and quests for the picket fence, corner office, Grassville locks for swings, and the dignity of matriculation into manhood. She cradles him, dangling above red clay dirt and sun-baked hope. She cradles him in the lonely dark of pinnacles and pits, cradles despite harnesses of addiction to bombs. Her drenched breasts are a fortress against battering brutality endured for their protection and procreation, soothing, clucking, feeding, weaning, in rotation for hours, days, years, and centuries lived and remembered. She cradles him, receiving his all in tenderness, fueling feminine power innate. Bellowed breath swells resolve and leaks into cells ancient wisdom that guides like stars in blackness. Cradled, sated, lifted eyes reflect the safety of home. In that knowing, there is no shadow of fear, only the victory of assurance that love always lives here.
That works.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
When you deal with Ingrid, I'd like to ask you,
yes,
of all the women in your life who you have come to know, whether reading or being involved with, give me the name of the woman that you most admire.
Ibaye Elaine Angela Moore, my mother of 10.
I love it. I love it. That's special. I think that probably many of us would probably choose our mothers. At least I like to think so. I would choose my mother, even though the mother that I would choose was really not my mother. She was my aunt, but she was my mother because my mother gave me to her sister for her to raise me.
Right.
And she became my mother. I don't know why my aunt could never have children, but I was her child. And the love that she gave me cannot ever be surmounted. I mean, nobody could ever touch that. We had a love affair that was off the chart.
As
And
they say, it takes a village, huh?
oh yes. And my natural mother and I are very close today because my aunt has moved on. And my biological mother and I are very, very close. And she's 94 years old, and she's still very feisty. She's Scorpion, and she ain't no joke. You know, if anybody knows about Scorpions, they like to be in charge. My mother is the matriarch of the family, and everybody pays attention to her. We've been having difficulties of late with the home care attendant who comes to our house because my mother doesn't like the fact that she has to teach these people where the laundry products are for her to get her laundry done, and she's got to reteach them over time. So, you know, but she wants things to be the way she wants them to be. And she has every right to have that because, hey, at 94 years old, you should have what you want. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And she still offers great advice. But I discovered a few years ago what really keeps my mother's brain working, which is what we love most. My mother likes to read. Reading is key. That keeps her mind activated. And so we're blessed beyond measure. And not only that, my mother's 94, but you can't find no wrinkles on my mother's face.
Wow.
Which is insane. How you gonna be 94 years old and not have no wrinkles on your face?
Or this, hey, black don't crack. No
Black don't crack. So I appreciate that. So, but truly, I appreciate your piece. I appreciate the love that you shared because that's what it's about. Thank you very much.
Thank you for letting me in the room. It's an honor to be here.
Listen, it's an honor for us to be alive and well in a time when they have created a virus to wipe half of the damn world out. And this virus, we need to understand something. with all the things that they've talked about with this virus, no one talks about the fact that this virus is man-made. Mother Nature does not create viruses. We need to understand that. This is not like a tornado or a hurricane or any tsunami. This was a man-made virus. And the first experiments that they used with this virus happened to be the Chinese. Of course, the orange clown referred to the virus as a China virus, and he called it the Kung flu. He called it a bunch of things, and unfortunately, many of the Asians are being beat down. Some are even being killed because they're being blamed for the virus, and it's out of order. And that's the ridiculousness of Americans. Americans, unfortunately, are very stupid in many cases. I mean, we have, unfortunately, we are in a world of a bunch of people who've got a brain the size of a goddamn little split pea. They don't have a brain, and anything that charges them up emotionally, they move on. Trump was perfect for activating that, and consequently, we're still suffering from the stuff that he laid down. He may be gone as a president, but believe me, the scent of his fart is still smelled. We smell it all the time. He has not stopped being a persuasive element in our world. What we need to do is recognize that there is another world that we must develop and live in, and excluding him and all of his cronies. But the truth is that we are still in for a long haul because this virus is major and it's still causing problems. We're trying to move from that. The one thing that we have going for us, we've got our ancestors. We have our African resilience. We've got melanin. Black people are strong beyond strength. No one can touch what we've got. And that's always been an issue. That's why our melanin is a problem for a lot of people. And I'm grateful that, I mean, trust me, if I was to die today or tomorrow, I would pray to those folks that are the creative energies of the planet. Please let me come back black. If I come back any other way, I'll be a very upset person.
Send me back.
So, like, let's keep on going. Michael Saunders, it's good to see you, baby.
How you doing, Baba?
I'm no less than blessed.
This is a tribute to Black women and Black love, you know, and I think that they should be appreciated every day, and they should be told how much we appreciate them every day. Because if you don't, there's always going to be somebody like the brother in Brother Earl's poem waiting to pick up the ball for you, you know.
Right.
So, and sometimes when you're far away from home, you know, you got to write them every day and remind them how precious they are to you. So this is called Faraway Lover. Dear faraway lover, before I left, I wish I had kissed you 1,000,000 times. Then each moment would remind me of the kiss and the joy I felt in your arms. We share the same stars, sky, and earth. And though I'm in this faraway place, when I close my eyes at night, I see your face. And longing for your embrace, my heart says, patience. Soon. I will and would wait through space and time, lifetime after lifetime, looking for your smile. For you inspire me to be strong, ever strong, a man with the countenance of a king, the heart of a poet, and a strong and gentle hand. And I know you will understand that I feel no remorse for the distance because you are always with me. And my passion for you is overwhelming, all consuming, deep in my bones, in my very soul, and always will be. Then, when my long tenure of absence is done, and you see in the distance my silhouette outlined in the setting sun, you will say to your friend, look, there comes my love, striving with great confidence toward his destiny, these arms. And when we embrace, all time will fall away. It will be as if we were never apart. Until then, know that you have my heart and you are the reason it beats. So stay safe, my sweet, and remain forever mine as I am yours.
That's important. See, that's the affirmation and the confirmation, all in one. And we need to recognize that. And with that, Michael, see, the words are perfect, but we must always recognize we got to be dedicated to the action. It's always about how you do what you do after you say what you say, because many of our sisters are lonely and totally neglected. And when I walk down the street and I see sisters with their blonde hair, I say to myself, why didn't somebody tell that sister that she just diluted her strength? When you put blonde in your hair, that's a dilution of you're diluting your strength. Blonde is a recessive gene. It's not strength. It's not giving you the strength you deserve. When you make these errors of trying to be attractive according to whatever attractive means in this society, you can make a mess of yourself because you're following the wrong rules. We need poems like what you just said, brother, because a lot of sisters don't recognize that somebody recognizes them, and they need to be recognized, and they need to be loved on a lot of levels. And loving, when we say love, it doesn't mean you want to see every sister you see, you want to take her to bed. No, just to acknowledge your beauty, your existence should be enough. Of course, there's a whole physical part that comes into play, and we all need that at moments, and we know that. But the reality is we need to have that spiritual connection and that mental connection that has been lacking in our hood. And that piece that you just did, brother, offers that. And I thank you for doing it and sharing that with us. Because many folks, we're suffering right now. Imagine if Black men and Black women truly loved and cared about each other. We could blink and white madness would disappear because we have that kind of power.
Brother Michael, I just want you to know, man, that poem probably would buy you a couple of days, man, but you better keep writing.
Absolutely.
I hear you, brother.
Yes, sir.
I got
Pharaoh.
Yo.
I'm gonna hear from my son.
Let's do it.
How the kids doing, man?
Good and crazy. Everybody's good and crazy.
Peace, bro. Peace, Pharaoh.
Peace.
Yo, I'm gonna do something for you know, we in March, right?
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned Sarah Vaughan earlier.
I did.
And you know, the Aries, that's the designated sign for all of the divas. I'm talking about Shaka Khan, you know, Aretha Franklin,
Teddy Pendergrass,
Diana Ross. I'm talking about the divas.
Yes.
The female.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, Sarah Vaughan too, Stephanie Mills. I mean, the list goes on. Even Mariah Carey. It's like about 12 of them. But nonetheless, the Queen. I had to do this piece because the Queen.
Aretha was Aries?
25th.
Huh?
So
the Queen, you talking about like Meghan Markle, the Queen,
what?
He says Sarah Vaughan.
I'm talking about the Queen of Soul, man.
Aretha was an Aries?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. What was the day, Pharaoh? What was the day?
March 25th.
Wow.
So we're like 11 days away from her. She would have been 79.
Okay.
So here we go. Aretha. An angel arrives on the wings of spring, 1942, under airy skies with the newness of the season. A star is born, blessed with a gift to share amongst her people, and then the world. She, precious little girl, born with a calling on her life, as sure as the sun brings light, she was born to bring light into the world, into those dark corners that needed it, bring warmth into those cold places awaiting a sign of love and hope, a voice, a lifeline, a sign that there is a God working in the spirit. We could feel that divineness every time we hear it, that sweet sound of glory, the majestic notes of love stories. Aretha became the queen when she decided to stand up as a young mother and discover her strength as a superwoman. and use her gift to uplift those who would listen. She said a little prayer for us. She gave us something we could feel. She made us think. She demanded respect. She told the men to do right if you want a do right woman. We found an angel in Aretha. She was our rose in all of the Harlems and Detroits of the world. She, a diva, divine queen of our time, rolling in a pink Cadillac. She was fly like that, and nothing less than royal, regal, and refined. Our queen of soul, Aretha, one of a kind.
Yes, yes, yes. You know what? Nobody can do that better than you, girl. That's your thing. That's your claim to fame when it comes to poetry, because you always connect the dots and you use the work that the person produced to talk about the person themselves, and that means that you're willing to do the research. You're willing to learn what they produced that made us feel good, and we know, God knows that an Aretha song would change your whole attitude for the day. She could really do that. I mean, it's almost like we can't live without Aretha. I mean, what she had to say was so special. And I know her father, even though he was a preacher in the church, I know he had to groove on her work, no matter what it was.
He could be mad at her singing the secular music.
No, he could be mad at her. Couldn't be mad at her. I mean, Aretha touched.
On that note that you said, Pops, as far as using the work and to describe and to share the life work of that person, I just want to give a shout out to VCR, what he did with Cicely Tyson, because that's my style right there. You know, the same thing, right? Using the work, man. Because the work speaks for itself, right?
Thank you, bro. I also want to add, you mentioned about Aries, divas and queens. I want to throw in Bessie Smith, Lettucey, and Jill Scott.
Hello. That's right. Jill Scott, 64, right? Yes. There's so many of them, man. Aries, Aries divas. Not to be funny about yeah, over, right? Not to be funny about the Aries divas. Not to be funny about the Aries divas, but Luther was an Aries too.
Hey, yo.
Don't leave out Lisa Simone.
Had to say it, man.
Never too much, man. Never too much.
Hey, we love Luther. Don't make no jokes about Luther.
He's on his birthday's the same as mine, by the way.
Yeah.
When's your birthday, VCR?
April 20th, 420.
Okay.
For all the
Heads. 420. Okay.
Yeah, but it's the same numbers as Oba and Marvin Gaye. Hello?
Yeah, April 2nd, baby. So his birthday said April 2nd, 2005 was
Marvin Gaye was the second.
Yeah. Something about April 2nd, 2005. I was trying to get more information about that. That's my birthday.
Aries was the beginning.
The first sign, baby. Number one.
That's the first. Aries is the first sign that starts everything off. And then we move to Pisces, that's the end. But Aries is the beginning. That's the beginning.
Hey, and people don't realize that's like the Chinese calendar and the original calendar and all calendars back east. That's when the new year starts.
And I was getting ready to say that because when these crackers that can't count or have no concept of time said that you fool if you start the year off in April and we messed around and went to this January calendar and the years are all off and I think that contributes to some of the stuff that we go through because they have distorted our concept of time.
Yeah. Pope Gregory. We go by the Gregorian calendar. And Pope Gregory said that, right. So, but we all know that life begins again in spring. And also, when Negroes be walking around pinching each other for St. Patrick's Day, the reason that green is for spring. Once again, celebrating new life.
Exactly.
Or forget Demon Patrick, the Demon Patrick. It's about celebrating spring. It's about celebrating. Same thing with Easter, celebrating spring, the new life. That egg represents new life, and the bunny rabbit represents the most fertile animal on land. So it's all about the
And
light, baby.
isn't that celebrating the goddess Estar?
Yeah, that's where the word comes from. Dope
Yes.
stuff. See, we do a little poetry, but we do a little teaching on this channel too.
You know, a little bit.
Well, let's hear from Sister Oshun. I'm sure she got something to say about all this.
Well, let me just throw a wrench into all of this. The Egyptians were the ones that taught the Greeks precession. And that is how the earth moves to the constellations. So when they're talking about this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, we're still in the age of Pisces. We're actually the age of Aquarius when the earth physically moves out of the constellation of Pisces and backs up into Aquarius is somewhere around 2375.
Okay.
And spring, because of that, and the Chinese do it better than anybody else, spring changes for them every year because they calculate precession too. And that's why Chinese New Year is a little different every year because of how the earth is moving through the constellations like that. And astrology is really off bounds. Unless you're born during the last 5 days of your sign, you're actually the sign before because of precession, because they take into consideration where the earth and the sun is based on precession. And the Egyptians were the ones that let everybody know that that was going on. They didn't figure that out, but they knew. So, and what happens with that? Someone said, well, I still feel like an Aries. You still feel like an Aries because more likely than not, obviously I'm an astrologer, you still feel like an Aries because more likely than not, your Mercury will be in Aries. And that's how you think. You think like an Aries. Your Venus could very well be in Aries too. So that's your creativity and how you love. That's Aries too. So that's why you still feel like an Aries.
Okay.
It's pretty interesting when you start studying it. And everybody else in the world who does astrology, the Chinese, the Indians call it Vedic astrology. There's been a new name floating around for about 10 years now. They call it astronomical astrology, meaning it's actually based on what's going on astronomically in the sky. But that's what I loved about the Egyptians. They recognized the change in the quality of each age. And if you look at anything Egyptian, you know when we were like in the age of Aries, because everything around Egypt was a bunch of rams. Everything was a ram. You even know all the way back to the age of Cancer, because the Egyptian symbol for the sign Cancer was a scarab. And you had all these scarabs all over Egypt. So we made known
I got one for you. And I got one for you,
what was going on.
I got a good one for you. We can tell when we were in the age of Leo by Harlem, or better known as the Sphinx. And now they're admitting that erosion on the side of the Sphinx is not wind erosion. It's not sand erosion. It's water erosion. Hello? That just goes to show you the age of the pyramids and the Sphinx is so much older than we've been taught. Because what they did with those numbers is they had to write themselves into history. Because if they give us the real dates, we know where they was when we were building those.
That's so rich because what you're saying is so rich because I just realized some years ago that when you have things erode with water, they leave all the things are curved. They don't. But if things are eroded by wind, you have sharp edges. And when you look at the erosion of the Sphinx, it's water. I mean, they're curves. They're not sharp edges. So where the Sphinx was actually built, there was water once upon a time. Now it's all dried up. It's desert. But I mean, the problem is basically we have been taught by midgets, people that don't really understand what they don't, and they don't even have the capacity of recognizing what it really was all about. And it's really their ignorance. It's not even their stupidity, because being stupid means you know, but you just don't want to speak on it. But being ignorant is you don't know, and they don't know. And we have to recognize that this knowledge is privy to us and we must share. This is a perfect moment. Yes, I love the poetry. I love everything that people are sharing. But when we get these nuggets of knowledge, this is what's going to help us move to the future, because everything is in a cycle. Everything that has been will be again. And once you recognize what was, then you can recognize what will be. And that's what
Yes,
we need to keep in our minds. We have always been great. We have always been special. We have excelled in everything that's available to us. And we will always continue to excel. And we should not put stoppers or barriers on the possibility of our excelling to greatness. That's who we are. We were here, we were put on this planet to represent and to accentuate the greatness of this planet. Planet Earth is a paradise. There is no question. But man has perverted it to the point where they trashed it and they've tried to make it a cesspool of madness. And it is not that. This is temporary and this will eventually go. But we must be prepared for the glory of greatness. But the only way we can prepare is to know what we're preparing for. If you don't know, you will be lost in this crap and you will suffocate from your own bile. And that's what many people are doing. We're suffocating from shit that we have produced ourselves, and we don't need to suffocate from it. We need to recognize that our shit is fertilizer for another world.
now you done said some
Well,
shit there, Pop.
let me throw one other thing in here too. We're looking at the Sphinx and where it sits. Of course, it's in the geographical center of the world, but even more importantly, the Sphinx is looking out over the horizon. And at the
That's
time
right.
it was the age of Leo, that was 10,500 BC. That's
That's
how
right.
old the Sphinx is.
That's how old the Sphinx is. So hello, what were they? They even did movies about where they were 10,000 years ago. They had a movie for 10,000. They were straight in caves, hiding from the sun, killing beasts and dragging it bloody back to the cave to eat it.
Bro, what is this calendar that we're dealing with? This is 2020. Is that not a baby calendar?
Yep, baby calendar. Baby
Come on
calendar.
now.
Come on.
We're 2021. I think I'm older than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Shun, come on, share with us, baby.
Yes, this is National Women's Month. So this is going to be a poem about like what a woman really is. Hold on a second. My phone just went crazy. Give me 1 second.
All right. Take your time.
I wrote this, I don't know how long ago now, but anyway, it's called She Be. Okay. My phone is just acting stupid today. I'm gonna do a commercial. Don't ever buy a Samsung. Okay. She be warrior. Ogun's cutlass in one hand and honey in the other. She be ghetto community roots, grit in essence. No nonsense on her watch. No crazy just happened on her block. She be natural law enforcer and impromptu block party on a late spring night, reminding everyone of summer's promise not far away. She be 2 times mama, a tissue for tears and calm, cooling, healing words on one hand, and a broom for correcting the out of control on the other. She gives a plate of soul nourishing, robustly Old Bay seasoned food and the perfect advice to solve your problem and feed your common sense. She be goddess, Oshun's own reminder to you of the goddess's place in your life. Oya's testimony to a woman's finely honed ferocity, a whirlwind of fire and water, ready, all ready for battle. Mami Wata's command to be woman, ready, powerful at all times. Yamuja's order, unfailing order of the day, of the life that only water can bring forth. She be love everywhere, in everything, without fear. all the time. She be all that is honey, fire, water, earth, sunbeam, moonbeam, rainbow, a home for miracles. Yes, she just be.
Yes. Yes,
Love
so
it.
soon.
She just be.
Yeah. Okay. That
Beautiful.
right there.
Home
Beautiful.
for miracles.
That's
Mm.
right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm.
No, no, this is a nourishment that we need. This is the stuff that helps you through your day. This is the stuff that will continue to allow you to walk with a sturdy understanding of who you are, in spite of what they try to say you are in the media and all that other stuff. We've got to be able to continue to do this for each other. This is how we live. And it's never going to be promoted. It's never going to be given any big play, but we're doing this. And trust me, this is the voice of God coming through. And every poem that we've heard today, we're hearing stuff that's going to lift us and take us through whatever pandemic, whatever madness of social injustice, whatever we are experiencing personally in our lives. When we can communicate and share the information that we've been sharing and share the poetry that we've been sharing with each other, this is the antidote to the madness that we need. And I hope that you'll recognize
Hey.
this. I love what we've shared. I love the fact you all have come together, that we're on this little screen, and it's crazy. But look what we've done with this crazy. We've blown it up. It's bigger than a screen. It's bigger than anything that anybody could imagine, because we have something to share that's authentic and rich and real. And I just thank you, Oshun. That was important because that's the kind of life that we have lived, that we need to continue to live. And we need to recognize what our living means in spite of the dying that many people seem to promote. We're in a world that promotes death and destruction. We're in a world that doesn't know anything about celebrating life. When they brought Africans here on the boats, they brought life. Ben Lou Hamer put it very clear. They're children, and they brought us here to raise them. And we've done our very best to teach them how to live, to teach them how to be real people. They gave Hattie McDaniel an Oscar for being Mammy in Gone with the Wind. And what was she doing? Teaching Scarlett O'Hara how to be a damn woman. How is an African woman that's supposed to be some kind of savage off of a slave ship, what does she know about what a woman is? It is born in us. We are the essence of what a woman is. We are the essence of what a man is. There is nothing else. There's no definition that anyone can touch. We have come from the essence of man and woman. We've come from the definition, the very definition of what humanity represents. We must embrace that, recognize that, and of course, when they say, what does Spider-Man say? With power comes great responsibility. Yes, we do have a responsibility. We cannot shuck that. We cannot play with that. Our responsibility is to teach those around us to continue to work, to continue to try to raise the level of understanding and consciousness so that we can appreciate ourselves. Much of our pain and misfortune is because we do not love the self that we are. We need to love I don't care if you're fat, skinny, light, dark, whatever. Love yourself, appreciate yourself, and recognize the gift that you have been given by the gods and your ancestors. We are ancestors ourselves, and we're in this moment of consciousness, but we will return to the ancestors committee eventually, and hoping that we will teach others to be good people when they come back on the planet. And we will continue the cycle. Nothing is ever lost. Recognize that. When many of us think that you're dead, you're done. There's no such thing as being dead and done. There's no such thing as being dead. Dead is a dead word. It does not exist. Our lives are a continual, and we will continue to live in spite of all of the things that they want to call death. Death, fuck death. Death doesn't exist for me or you or anybody. We heard Marvin Hagler died at 66 years old. He was a great boxer. Yes, we watched him. My son just reminded me that me, him, and Pharaoh, We actually sat and watched the fight that he had with Tommy Hearns. Oh, it was a brutal fight. And we loved it because we like to see warriors battle. We love all that. But Hagler didn't die. Hagler's moved on to another dimension. He's still here. When I leave, I won't go no place. I'll be around. When you leave, it'll be the same damn thing. And we need to really get that understanding because we're killing ourselves with the death of each other. And it doesn't make any sense. It does not work. We cannot die. We must live. And our life is our testament to the existence of us on this planet. This planet is a recycling situation. Like the seasons, they come back, and we are nothing less than the seasons themselves.
Abiodun,
Yes,
when you when you're got a minute, I sent you some stuff to your email. You have got to look at it.
Ashe.
Well, you know what? I want to thank you all. Let's move right along. We got some more folks I've heard from. I've heard from Clarity. Mo Clarity. And I love your name because that's so clear. Mo Clarity. Let's make it clear.
Kiki in the building.
Yeah, clearly someone here knows me very, 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 very well.
Mo Clarity, what do you do with your days?
Beyond the poetry.
What do you do with your days?
Education by trade, actually.
All right.
Yeah. So I've been dealing with I guess the virtual craziness in this pandemic, among other things.
Do you have children?
Well, none that I've birthed naturally. No.
Okay, but you got some kids that you give advice to.
Yes. Yes.
Boys and girls?
Oh yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah, boys and girls. I've run the gamut.
Where do you live, baby? Where do you live?
I'm in VA.
In Harlem?
No, I'm in VA, but you know, of course, NY is home. You know, I'm from Queens.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
You're in Virginia?
Yes.
What part?
Yes. The Hampton Roads area.
Okay.
The 757 area. Yes. I just want to add on something to what you said earlier. Now, of course, you and the lovely Juanita know that even though Uncle Ralph was the, I guess, plug, so to speak, that brought me your way.
Okay.
Of course, you all know I've been aware of you for years, however, as well as the open house. But I do want to say, I totally agree with what you were saying to Brother Earl, however, when he went on. I'm just, first of all, so excited to hear anytime he comes on. I'm like, I just love to hear his work. But truth be told, very little known fact outside of mutual people that he and I know, Earl is actually literally the pinpoint. You can trace everything back to what I just began out here doing. I'll just put it that way. I'll leave it that way. All roads in whatever direction I could think of, people I've met, other things that have happened, spaces I've been, et cetera, 6 degrees of separation, all traces back to, the fabulous, legendary there, Brother Earl.
Yeah,
so Earl is a jewel. That's all I'm going to say.
That's perfect because Brother Earl touches a lot of people like that. And he's one of those folks that unsung. See, you can't go to Amazon.com and pick up a Brother Earl track. You know?
Exactly.
But yet his stuff excels way beyond all that that's been recorded. Because and I've had the joy and pleasure of having him as a close friend of mine for many years now. And I know his work. And sometimes, you know, a lot of times we don't even understand the value of our work until somebody pumps it up and puts it in the neon lights. I think true. But Brother Earl, I think I always get that feeling that Brother Earl is happy with Brother Earl. And as long as I feel that he feels good about himself, I'm good with that. Because
now this
we
is
need
true.
to be grown up. So
very true.
Brother Earl, you heard what was said, brother.
Earl.
And you know what, man? Ain't nothing better than your flowers while you are still on this plane of existence.
Say so.
Them.
Say so.
You know, You spoke about it earlier, Doom, just putting the work in,
Right.
okay, and being your authentic self, loving the art, and you know, the work will speak for itself, man. I've done some albums, I've done some touring, and I treat every open mic or feature in the same way. I gotta earn these people's ears. They don't know who Brother Earl posed to be or any of that foolishness. I gotta earn it right on the spot, and I love that. Okay, that's what keeps me on my ones and twos, man.
And truth be told, it wasn't even back home where we met, right? Or we actually met out. That's the weird thing. I met you in VA.
Brother Earl,
an event.
you
were
are
part
a
of a VA.
legend among supposedly legends. And when you can
Yes.
out-legend the legends, brother, you have done something. People want to call me a legend. I hate it. I can't stand it. And you are a legend already, Brother Earl. And I will say that loudly and clearly because I know your work. I can recall your work about a father. I can recall the work that you've done about hip hop. You have made some statements about our situation, our culture, our people, and you've done it with absolute love and understanding. You didn't do it out of disdain and disrespect. You made it clear. I love my people, but I want my people to understand what they're loving and what they're doing. And you clearly lay it down. And you do it in words, in ways that a fool can understand. You're not using no intellectual fucking expressions. You keep it plain and simple like Malcolm. And I love that. And I appreciate your work. And you've been consistent. Earl, you ain't never fell off track. Your train stays on the right tracks all the time. And that needs to be known and need to be cherished and praised. I just want to thank you today because, and this is and more clarity, you made that more clarity for us today.
You already know that's what I do. I thrive. I think my best are in the background. And I'm totally cool with that because exactly what we're doing now. I have no problem. In fact, I love highlighting and just accentuating things in others because many times I think people somewhat misinterpret that sometimes and they may feel like somebody's belittling or downplaying something on themselves. And I get teased for that from time to time. But truth be told, that in of itself is a gift too. For some persons, and I feel like myself, empaths and so forth, sometimes that is your gift. Like doing highlighting and bringing out other things in someone else, cultivating other things, or helping to push something further along. In many cases, somebody has to do that. We all can't be the, whatever it is in the front. Sometimes the person, that whole leading from the back expression comes into mind for a reason. Somebody has to be back there.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Who we got?
But did you want me to share? Because I do have.
Yes, turn.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, first I want to say I hope Anita's still here because y'all know either it's earrings or a shirt or both every week. So keeping with the theme, I don't know if y'all can see this. You see, I do have my.
I see
you
the
see
woman.
me. You see me. My, hey, Cuba.
Let's put a camera on that again.
You see
on that shirt. You got
yes.
Zora Neale Hurston. Lorraine Hansberry. Gwendolyn Brooks.
Yes. I love Gwendolyn. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, there we go.
Who is that?
Let me straighten it out. Let me pull it straight. We have Nikki. That's Nikki there. Maya Angelou. We have Nikki Giovanni there. And I think I'm pulling it the wrong way. Yeah. No. Toni Morrison. It's Tony over there. Yeah.
Women of impact. Women have made.
Oh, the bottom. Yes, there's a tribute to literary genius.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right,
go ahead. Share your piece, baby.
Okay. This is actually the one I did for you when I was very first brought to you. So it's sort of special to me, I guess, with what we're doing today. The Queen.
Okay.
Where can you find the Queen? Well, the Queen can be seen in the beauty of nature. The Queen can be felt when the wind blows. The queen can be observed performing the gift of life. The queen can be mighty among few or stand out among the crowd. The queen could be down or simply down the block around the way. The queen moves swiftly yet with careful steps while changing her environment. The queen reigns within the community while campaigning our causes around the world, for it is her empire. She nurtures the mind of her king, cultivates the soul of her young. Made of the ashes and dust of the earth, yet more valuable than worth. She be that strong rock, hard, strong, can't be broken because she holds her own. Like diamonds and rubies, the queen is a jewel. Though many seek to refine her, others try to define her, but our society still denies her. Instead, we settle for cheap imitations, but your man-made lab creations of a gem, when all the while she been dwelling among them. The queen is not boastful, but she be proud. She be proud of her legacy that tells of her greatness, that she manifested through the heavens, ascended through the womb, knows all, cause she been here before. Yet with each journey, she leaves behind something new and something wonderful. So while the world still continues to sleep, she made some 7,000s and thousands and thousands upon warriors that continue on her name. It's an uneven number, so it's odd to say from one many remain. But when you question her existence, rest assured that she is real. For the queens of the house been with you. But if y'all blink too fast, y'all might miss them.
Yes. That is what you just described was what true royalty is all about. Because a lot of people get this kind of mysterious definition that royalty is sitting on a throne, not even having to go to the bathroom and take a shit. You know, I mean, you sit there and people wait on you and they come and massage your feet and suck your toes and all that. And you made it quite clear. The queen can be around the corner. You know, the queen could be down the block. I mean, yes, we have given birth to queens and kings. The problem is like, and Brother Africanus, if he's listening, he's gonna come down hard on the fact that we use the words queen and king, because he'll tell you in a minute, there was no such word as a queen or a king in Africa. And he's absolutely right. We did not refer to each other. It was understood. Just like there is no word in West Africa for art. It was understood if you were born, you had art. No human being is on this planet without having some expression of art. Your art might be putting popsicle sticks together. I don't know what it is, but you have some art that you can express your feelings, your deepest emotion. Art is an expression. Actually, art is an avenue to talk to God. That's what art is. And we need to recognize that. It's not just about you doing something to alleviate the pain or misfortune. You are trying to talk to the God. And where is God? Inside of you. He ain't in no place up above the clouds. That's a bunch of bullshit. God is with you. God is in everything that you see living. And I remember my son Pharaoh was online right now. One day, and he was 5. I don't know if he remembers. I just picked him up and I'm taking him home to his mama. And we're walking down the street. And he says, who's God, Daddy? I mean, come on. You got a kid that's gonna ask you who God is? What am I gonna say? I gotta give him an answer. And there was a tree in front of me, and I said, God's a tree. The definition I gave Pharaoh on that day is the definition I live by today. God's a tree. God's a branch. God is a roach. God's a dog. God's a man. God's a woman. God is every living thing that exists. If God is the creation of all life, then everything that he's created is a piece of God in it. You cannot create something and not put yourself in it.
Yes.
And we need to recognize what God is. We are gods unto ourselves, and it's about us hooking up with each other to maximize our power. And our power becomes the forces of nature. We're the wind, we're the air, we're the fire, and we are the water. What are the signs? We just got finished talking about Aries. Aries is fire, but fire can't work without air. Everything's got to work in harmony. And if we understood the nature of our existence, we'd be doing fine. You cannot be hating on your energy, on your support. And we not
Exactly.
we are powerful people, but we've been put in a world of folks who are midgets. They do not know the greatness of who they are. White folks who know are cool. I have no problem with them. But you got a whole bunch of white folks that want to be white. White is a recessive gene. It is not a positive gene that's going to lift you higher. It's going to take you down. You'll get diabetes and cancer and everything else that's available. When you're black, you can send back everything that's negative. Black will push that shit back. Black is powerful. We need to recognize the strength, the glory of what black is. It ain't got a damn thing to do with color. It's the source from which all things come. When you realize that, it's like a rock. It's like the Rosetta Stone. It's a rock. And in that rock, you've got a whole gang of power that allows you to be and do anything you want to do. But you've got to recognize it within yourself, or else it doesn't mean a thing.
Whew. You make me feel very, very happy, I guess. I went with your piece of said title and topic from our previous gathering, from the previous open house.
Well, you know what?
Blackness.
Today was a special day, and I want to appreciate Juanita because she made it clear we're going to try to do this thematically because we don't want things scattered. And I appreciate what everybody has done. When we've had some information given us today that is very special. Next time we get together, we want to celebrate black men, and so that's the theme for next time. And the truth is that, and in that particular case, that's a touchy subject because black men are the offspring of black women. There's no question about that, and we need to recognize where that's coming from. Every black man is also a black woman. We need to realize that. And we've got some black men that want to become black women because they are overwrought with that energy. I got that. I understand RuPaul. I understand all those characters that want to dress up and be women. You can't help yourself. You're compelled to do that. The strength of a woman is overwhelming. And some men can't understand that. I was in prison, and in prison, they make a habit of turning a brother into a sister. That's a part of what happens if you're in prison. And you've got to recognize where the line is. You can't be no sister, and you don't want to ever be in that position to be. Because first of all of you sisters carry some weight. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't know what Ngoma would say, but I don't want to carry that weight. That's a monster weight, goddammit. Y'all can get pregnant. I don't want to be pregnant. Y'all go through some physical check. I don't want to go through none of that shit. Y'all be crying like crazy. I don't want to be crying like crazy. I mean, I do cry, but I don't want to cry like that. Y'all be getting like rain, waterfalls, tears. Please. I love y'all, but there's some things that y'all have shown me in my existence with you that scare me to death because y'all go in, but at the same time, y'all are able to read every man in your sight.
Oh, yes.
And that's the part that's scary. Like the Africans say, man chases woman till she catches him.
Catches him till she catches him. Yes.
And that tells you everything you need to know.
Yes.
Men are not that wise. I used to go out with older women always because I wanted that wisdom. Y'all can't run up to a brother and punch him in the face because he's a liar and bullshit. So you'll have to use wisdom. You got to hook it up so that he'll punch himself in the face. And y'all can do that. I mean, and once we recognize the beauty and the glory of our existence and how it's supposed to complement each other, we can achieve whatever we need. And I believe that. We're at that moment, y'all. This is a pivotal moment in time. And it started in 2020, but it is continuing. It's not over because of Biden and Kamala. This is still a part of that cycle. Trump is not really gone. He's still here. And the sentiments of Trump exist. He's got a whole bunch of people who've been bamboozled. and they are continuing to follow his mission. But his mission is that of the devil. There is no question about that. The devil has never beaten God. Recognize that. The devil ain't no competition. Matter of fact, God created the devil just so he'd have something to do. You know how boring it must have been on the planet? You ain't got no opposition.
Well, if
In
you
order
remember,
for things to take place, you have to have conflict. There can't be no conflict if I ain't got no opposition. So the devil was created just to entertain God.
and Dune, that is where it gets so crazy, because for all intents purposes, the devil was God's choir master. You know, he was a choir. All right, that's why the devil is in the music. Okay, okay, he was the choir leader. You know, so that is that's why
so many ways.
that's why that music can be so powerful, and we have to be like diligent and just like prescribing over our music, because literally the devil is in those details if left unchecked.
Hello. Now, Ade, I see you on the screen. Did you have something to share with us, Ade?
I don't got anything to share this week, Pop. It's a little late, so I gotta get some work done right now. Actually.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here anyway. But I know you got. Listen, you got a super sister that's been supporting you, and I love her to death. And you please give Taylor my love, because she's a superstar. And I'm so grateful, because this relationship you've had has been lasting for a while, and that's a great thing. Because relationships don't last too long; they kind of temporary. They get quick, you know. And for you all to be together this long is beautiful. So please give her my love, and that's Black love. I want to thank everybody who shared today. This has been an awesome day, and I want to, of course, I got to thank my niece, because she designed it. And we're gonna deal with Black men. Now the Black men piece, the Black man Sunday, I know it's gonna be outrageous. And I don't even think I've written a piece dealing with the Black man, but I'm gonna write a piece myself, because the Black man, that's a whole nother enigma on a lot of levels. And I recognize that within myself because of what I've gone through as a man. But I'm gonna try to dissect it with my pen, and I'm gonna see what I come up with. But I'm challenged by that theme myself. And I hope that you all will be challenged, because we do have something to say. And the Black man is a reflection of the Black woman on a lot of levels. And we need to recognize what that is. And it starts with our mothers, because a mother has that inside track to every Black man. That's one reason why our national curse word is motherfucker. And if you disrespect my mother, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth, even if I'm in the second grade. So you got to recognize the strength of us. The strength of us has always been our mothers, because we realized that she was the one that bared the burden of our existence on this planet. And nobody can dispute that, and nobody can deny that. So yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I may, I told you I was fighting as to which poem I was going to do.
Go ahead, Earl. Go ahead.
With something I wrote for my mother.
Please.
Okay. For those that don't know, my mother transitioned in 2006, and this was one of the poems I wrote for her after that. Sleep is death as a child. So when mommy didn't wake up, I guess she was grown. Prepared since day one that one day I would be alone. Still trapped between fleeting joy and dreams, leaning back like Roy stands a poet. Father, Son, Holy Ghost in one, submerged in shades of blue, camouflaged by my aura's hue. But the ancestors know it, painting my face brave, like a Cherokee or Sioux when speaking before you, so as not to show it, cause this is bigger than me. or the emptiness and depression I felt recently. And though mommy's transitioned, like the love she sprinkled on food in the kitchen, my heart will carry her on eternally, believing life and death exist synergistically. So balancing the equation is the correlation between you, the word, and God. The intent and strength of your works, whether in the street, boardroom, or yard. No wonder I go hard, remembering what Ma used to say. To rest in peace, you have 24 hours to live every day. Make sure to laugh, cry, love, and pray. Birth is a casting call, and being alive a play. So I rehearse each verse to fly, knowing soon as they take off, more than just the applause will die. But I treat the stage like it's Mount Sinai, and from city to city, each venue is my pew. So maybe it's a death wish, suspended between my first breath, last rites, and the river Styx. But my life's been ordained for this. So what am I to do? 20 decades plus more, but still a comma on God's plan. I've gone from boy to man to the leader of my clan. And if I never write another obituary, I have come to understand only deeds are everlasting. So who will mourn your passing by shedding a tear for the time you spent here, rejoicing when the answers to these questions are clear? To help a friend, have you gotten your hands dirty? Believed in someone deemed unworthy, or simply loved with all your might despite their ability to return in kind? Mommy, this is what your memory brings to mind. That smile, a billboard, your funeral, a sign. The repast was first, the second line, so I live like there's a soundtrack to my epitaph, a song in my step, whether blazing a trail or walking the path, to my spirit and flesh divide in half, and I return to the essence. But my point was made when former foes throw me a Bed-Stuy parade, while the poets I've inspired recited my grave. Love is as love does, even in metaphor. So when the hereafter is theirs before, mom's presence is felt like waves baptizing the shore, then life and death will be different no more.
Woo, brother. Yes, you touched it. You got it. You did not. You did not miss it. You hit it on the head. Yes, Earl. Yes, Earl. And your mama heard you.
Yes, sir.
Your mama heard you. And
Yeah.
that's listen, there's no other way for us to leave. That's it. That's the way we do it. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy and free. I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters grow.
Oh,
I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my
misery.
because I'll be strong to turn it around. I want to go up. I'm not going down. I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come true. Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art even when it was
Sad.
I want to share whatever my gift. And when you're feeling low, I'll give you
Lift.
I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being.
Yeah.
Know that you're blessed for being.
Yeah.
Know that we're blessed for being.
Yeah.
And know that we are blessed.
Yeah. Oh God.
Listen, y'all, take that with you. And remember what Brother Earl said.